Okay. So here I come again with the topic solid geometry, subtopic circles, lecture number 2. Okay. In the last class, hope you have seen the previous video. If you have not seen the previous video, this video will jump off your head. So see lecture number 1, then come to lecture number 2 of the subtopic circles. It's in your book under the name solid geometry. Okay. What topics did we discuss in the last class? We discussed the topics related to the terms related to circle. First was radius. Then we discussed diameter. We discussed arc. We discussed major and minor arc. Yes? Okay. Then we discussed chord. Then we discussed tangent. And we discussed major arc, major segment, minor segment. We discussed sector of a circle. So these are the few points you should keep in your head while coming to this lecture number 2. Now, the lecture number 2 is basically discussion of theorems. Theorems, few statements that has been derived for circles. But before that, you need to know a basic concept which will be very helpful to you to understand the theorems, which I am definite you have forgotten. Give me the duster. Now, the first concept is congruency. You will see the major theorems will need this. What? A property called congruency. Congruency. What is congruency? Now suppose I draw a triangle here and I draw another triangle here. Triangle A, suppose triangle B. I am not naming the triangle. Now these two triangles are said to be congruent when this side is equal to this side, when this side is equal to this side, and when this side is equal to this side. Means they are equal. What is meant by equal? Congruence. If I say these two figures are congruent, they have same length, same breadth. Now if I put it together, they superimpose each other. Did you notice? Can you see this book? Only you can see this book. That means they both are same in shape, size, dimensions. Is it okay, Raj? These two books are same. That means they are congruent figures. We say them congruent figures. Clear? This particular property will help you in proving 90% of the theorem. Not 90, if I am wrong, 95% of the theorem. You will need this property now and then. I will make a separate lecture on congruency only. Just on congruency. Today I need to finish up the theorems. So these two triangles can superimpose. Now if I draw this triangle on this, you will not be able to see this. Means these two triangles are exactly similar, means they are equal. That means this angle is equal to this angle. This angle will be equal to this angle. This angle will be equal to this angle. Got the point? Sir, we are reading circles, you are teaching triangles. No. These particular property will finish all your theorems. I say in my language, they will kill the theorems. Okay. Now suppose I write this triangle as ABC and this as DEF. Now listen to me very properly. It's not like acha dono triangle equal hai. No, wait. I told this side is equal to this side. I told this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side. That means AB is equal to DE. AB is not equal to DF. Why? So it is. That's why it's called corresponding sides. See, this side corresponds to this side. This side corresponds to this side. This side corresponds to this side. You will say, sir, it is obvious only. No. Now if I do it this way, still they are similar, still they are congruent. But I change the names. What I did? I flipped the triangle. How? Now D is here, F is here, E is here. Something like this. So AB is equal to what? DE. Where is DE? Here. AE is equal to DF. Where is DF? Here. BC is equal to FE. Still they are congruent. It's not that they have to be in the same position. I can draw it here. I can draw it like this also. D, E, F. Still they can be congruent. So congruency depends upon the dimension, the length, breadth, height, the dimensions of the triangle. Okay. Now next topic. The definition says the figures are called congruent if they have same shape and same size. Then the two figures are called congruent. Now I will brief it so that I can jump to the theorems. You all have done this in class 8. There are three properties on which triangles can be congruent. What? You all know this: side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, and side, side, side. What is this? Side, angle, side means, suppose they give you a figure where you come to know, oh, this side is equal to this side is equal to this side, and this angle is equal to this angle. Other points they are not given. They have given such a problem where you come to know that this side is equal to this side is equal to this side, and one angle is equal. That means these two triangles are automatically equal. How? I am coming to it. I like students when they say how. I can see in your eyes, you are thinking how equal, how congruent. I am showing you. Now let's take the first point, side, angle, side. I told what? Two triangles are congruent means they are equal in all respect. Sides are equal, angles are equal, everything is equal. So I told you two sides is equal and one angle is equal. Means suppose this side is equal to this side is equal to this side, and this is an angle equal. Automatically you will see this angle has to be equal to this angle has to be equal to this. Then if these three angles are equal, then these two sides are also equal, then this third side automatically becomes equal. That means these two triangles automatically becomes equal. Just if I give you one point, what? One side is given equal, one side is given equal, and one angle is given equal. Similarly, see, these are not criterias. These are not criterias for a triangle to get congruent. A congruent triangle means all the parameters are equal. But these are, you can say, path. by which path you can find, okay, if these two sides are equal and one angle is equal, that means a triangle is congruent. So the second is what? Side, side, side. That means if the three sides are equal, that means the triangle is equal. Automatically all the angles will be equal. And the third point is angle side angle. Means if two triangles have the same two angles equal and one side equal. If two angles are equal and one side is equal, then they are known as congruent. One more congruency is there. These are all criterias, if I say in a particular language, these are all criterias. RHS, this is basically used for right angle triangle. This I will not teach you now, I will teach you when we come across one theorem, otherwise you will jumble up. Okay, okay. I am rubbing the board and I am coming to the theorem. A theorem, I said cracking a theorem, because 95% of the students, they get puzzled with the question only. They don't understand the question, then they cannot draw a figure by reading a question. That is the basic problem what I have felt in you. Now let's read the question. The perpendicular drawn to a chord except the diameter from the circle of a center of a circle bisects the chord. All went up of your head. I am writing it. Wait. The perpendicular, this is the short form of perpendicular, drawn to any chord except the diameter. We are not choosing the diameter. Why? I will tell you. From the center of a circle bisects the chord. Theorem number 32. I have left theorem number 31 because it is a bit very easy but bit turned around. First let me do this so that you can start loving theorems. Okay. Now we will draw as per the theorem so that you understand. That means this is a circle theorem. You need a circle first. Okay, let's draw a circle. Okay. What is this? Center. Very fine. The perpendicular drawn to any chord. Okay, that means we need a chord. Let's draw a chord. The perpendicular drawn to a chord from the center. Now, many students will tell me, sir, perpendicular means? Beta, perpendicular means from a point, if I drop a perpendicular to this line, like taking this much arc, if I let little bit more than this, cutting this arc here, this is called a perpendicular. Means 90 degree. Drawing 90 degree from this point to here. Dropping a perpendicular. A perpendicular drawn to any chord. Any. It's not that sir ने यहाँ drawing किया है तो हमें भी यहाँ drawing करना है. This theorem can be proved by drawing it here, here, here. So basically what happens is when it is any point, we take an arbitrary point. Means any point in a circle. I have taken this point. You can take it here also and prove the same thing. The perpendicular drawn to any chord except the diameter. Now, why except the diameter, sir? Diameter is also a chord. Beta, if I take the perpendicular from here, from the center, diameter तो center पे ही है. तो center से center पे, how will you draw perpendicular? Getting a point? That is why a perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord. This is given. Try to understand. A theorem has facts given and facts to prove. See, this theorem I will take much more than 15-20 minutes. It's a very small theorem. You go to any teacher, they will draw this. No. I will take time. Why? You have to understand how to crack a theorem, because what you all do is you will start memorizing this. No, start proving this. The perpendicular drawn to any chord from the center of a circle bisects the chord. Now if you really want to learn the question of a theorem, just write prove that here. Now I am reading the question again. Prove that the perpendicular drawn to any chord from the center of a circle, matlab here, bisects the chord. So what is the question? This is the question. What is given? This is given. So in a theorem you have to be very, suppose you have forgotten theorem number 32. So first thing you have to think what is given and what has to be found. Okay. So what is given? Center is given. They have told there is a perpendicular from the center to the chord. And we have to prove that what? This perpendicular bisects the chord. Now you will say, what is sir bisecting? If this is 4 centimeter and I bisect it, means 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter, आधा कर देते. मतलब for few people I am talking in Hindi now. This perpendicular will basically bisect this chord. Means Hindi is little bit problematic for me. This perpendicular when it is dropped, ये इस chord को आधा कर देगा. अगर chord 8 सेंटीमीटर है तो chord को 2 टुकड़ों में बांट देगा. Okay? Now let's come to the proof. I am drawing the circle that side. Center, chord, perpendicular, given, bisect the chord. Understood the question? Okay. Now I will write whatever is given in the book. I will explain in my own word. The figure will be absolutely equal to the book. Open your book and relate it. Center is O. The chord is AB. And this point means जो लाइन सेंटर से परपेंडिकुलर पे आ रही है, दिस लाइन कट्स द इंटरसेक्ट्स द कॉर्ड एट P. नाउ आई एम यूजिंग द वर्ड इंटरसेक्ट. सर अभी तो बाइसेक्ट बोला था. नो, बाइसेक्ट प्रूफ करना था. बाइसेक्ट आपको प्रूफ करना है. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? देयर इज अ लाइन, दिस लाइन इज इंटरसेक्टिंग, मतलब दोनों लाइन कट रहे हैं. अब आधा आधा कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, that is a different factor. पहले तो कट रहे हैं. First point is these two lines are intersecting lines. Getting my point? Now we will prove that these two lines, the way they are intersecting, it is bisecting only. Clear? Okay. Now jump into the theorem. Okay. Now I will go step by step. I told you some facts are given. Right, visible colors?
Perfectly visible.
Okay. Given, what is given? Chord is given. Let AB is a chord. Okay. See, there is a lot of language. Let me first explain you. You know I don't go through books. I don't like the book language. Let me explain in my own words. Okay. You relate it. Now what is this? AB is a chord of the circle with the center O, and OP is perpendicular to AB. This much is given. Perpendicular drawn to any chord from the center O. This much is given. Okay. Then what is to prove? Gina, see properly. There are few students, very studious students in class 10. I am putting this whole effort for you all better. AB is the chord, OP is the perpendicular. See the figure properly. What do you have to find? We have to find that it bisects the chord. Now if I say AB This P is bisecting means what? Means this part and this part is same. You are not getting it. Wait. AB is the chord, OP is the perpendicular. Forget circle now. भूल जाओ circle को. Now this is the diagram. They have told this line will bisect AB. Yes, means what? AP and PB will be equal. This is the mean to bisection means what? I am saying again, see here. Suppose there is a line 8 centimeter. This is A, this is B. Now I tell AP bisects. That means what? This is how much? 4. This is how much? 4. Same thing. That means AP is equal to PB. Now you have to learn these languages. Every time numbers will not come into play. This is geometry, figures, sides, arcs, AP, OB, AB, AX, this, that. Clear? So, what do you have to prove there? You have to prove that AP is equal to PB. This much understood? Okay. Ready? Okay. So, we have to prove AP is equal to PB. Why? Because they have said that a perpendicular bisects a chord. Okay. Now, how to prove it? Now, then in a theorem, factors come called construction. Whatever I am writing in the board is in your book. First, understand it. Keep a rough paper or a rough copy. When I say keep on writing, then try to understand. Then go through the book once, done. Then close your book and try to derive the theorem on your own, finished. Okay. Now, the construction is, we will draw lines OA and OB. We will draw the lines OA and OB are joined. So this was given, this is to prove, and this is some extra work that we have done to prove a theorem. Now you will say, sir, can we draw any line? No, there are logics. This point and this point can be connected. I have connected. This point and this point can be connected. I have connected. Whatever can be done to derive a theorem, we can do it. We have that liability. We have that freedom to do it. Okay. Now, I am rubbing these 3 points. Okay. So just I am writing what we have to prove, beta. We have to prove that AP is equal to PB. This is the proving factor. Now, how to prove? Suppose the day is the exam, you have sat and you have forgotten this theorem. Now, we have to just come to this diagram. We have to prove that AP is equal to PB. Don't you think this is one triangle, this is another triangle? Yes or no? Now, let me draw the triangles. This is O. This is P, this is A, this is again O, this is again P, this is again B. Same thing, I have just tore it apart. Yes or no? So this is the reason I taught you congruency of triangles previously before teaching this. Otherwise this would have jumped off your head. Now that means I told you, if we can prove by any means that these two triangles are equal, if we prove by any means that these two triangles are equal, that means what? We can say these two sides are also equal. Try to understand. See, in many theorems you will see this is the same property. Triangles को congruent बना दिया, मतलब दोनों साइड इक्वल कर देंगे नहीं, ये हो जाता है. Because we have proved that these two triangles are congruent. That means by any way, if we prove that these two triangles are congruent, that means these two triangles are equal. इक्वल का मतलब कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग साइड्स। इसका कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग साइड कौन सा है? ये। इसका कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग साइड कौन सा है? ये। इसका कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग साइड कौन सा है? ये इसके साथ इक्वल नहीं होगा, ये इसके साथ इक्वल नहीं होगा। कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग साइड्स। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? नाउ टू प्रूव कॉन्ग्रुएंसी देयर आर 3 क्राइटेरिया, रिमेंबर, फॉरगेट दैट, वो बाद में आया है, पहले कॉन्ग्रुएंसी आया। कम ऑन, नाउ लेट्स सी व्हाट इज इक्वल। फिगर इट हियर। व्हाट इज OA? Distance of the point from the center on the circumference. That means this is what? Radius. What is OB? Distance from the center to the point on it means what? It's a radius. Very simple. OA, OB. This. What is this? Radius. So OA and OB are radius of the same circle. एक ही सर्कल का रेडियस है ना? That means what? OA is equal to OB. First point. So we got first point equal. You did it, I didn't do it. You have understood means you have done it. Now I told this is a perpendicular. Perpendicular creates what angle? 90 degree. So this is 90. That means this is also what? 90. Very fine. So I say OPA. See, you have to understand how to write angles. Angle OPA is equal to angle OPB. Why? Both are 90 degree, or you can write both are right angles. Point number 2. Now we require 3 points for congruency. Now what is common? What is equal? See here. This OP is inside both the triangles. Now Gina is Lisa's friend, Gina is Eriko's friend. So Gina is common? Yes. So OP is here also, OP is here also. That means OP is common. Finished. Theorem completed. Wow. Side, angle, side. So we finally feel that the triangles, now how to write congruency? Be very careful. We have to write triangle OPA is congruent to triangle OPB. I cannot write OBP. These all you make mistakes, silly mistakes, because this angle is equal to this angle, remember? P. So ये P बीच में होगा when you write it. These things I'll teach congruency differently. Let me finish at least the theorems first, then you will understand. So we found what? We found that the triangle OPA is congruent to triangle OPB. This and these two are congruent triangles, means equal triangles. Now our theorem is about to end in 2 minutes. Raj, we have 2 minutes there? Okay. That means I can say if these two triangles are equal, means beta equal, everything is equal. Simple. Therefore AP is equal to PB. 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 Done. We finally proved that this perpendicular is bisecting the chord, means इस परपेंडिकुलर ने इस कॉर्ड को आधा आधा कर दिया है. Hence proved. What did we prove? We proved that a perpendicular from the center to the chord bisects the chord. Means if I drop a perpendicular from a center to a chord, that perpendicular bisects the chord, means into 2 equal halves. Understood? So this was theorem number 32. See, I can understand you are not in front of me, I cannot see your eyes, but believe me, what I have taught, if you just skip it, means if you just miss it, you don't understand anything, in YouTube you have a rewind button, rewind it, then stop and see it again, slowly and slowly, you will get the full thing. So this was theorem number 32. Now theorem number 33, exactly this, exactly the same theorem. Don't jump to theorem number 33 if you have not done theorem number 32. Why? If you understand theorem number 32, theorem number 33 is just a piece of small cake. Okay, let's pause it. Now we learned theorem number 32 from your book. This is theorem number 33. Page number is 246. Now we say this is converse of theorem number 32. Why it is a converse? I'll tell when I end this theorem. Then you will understand what is the meaning of converse. Okay. Now let's read the theorem. You have to understand, you all, how to read a theorem. Because when you go to 11 and 12, there are dozens and dozens of theorem. Prove that if a straight line passing through the center of a circle bisects any chord which is not a diameter, then the straight line will be perpendicular on that chord. Sir, everything went above the head. Kuch samajh mein nahi aaya. Okay, I am coming. Prove that if a straight line passing through the center of a circle, if a straight line passing through the center of a circle, चलो यहाँ से ले लेते हैं. If a straight line passing through the center of a circle bisects the chord, मतलब this line is bisecting the chord. See, earlier on they told what? Perpendicular on the chord proves that it is bisecting. Now they have told you this line is bisecting the chord. It's okay, Raj?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now they have told you that this perpendicular, this line, not perpendicular, this line is bisecting the chord, which is not a diameter. I told you why not a diameter in the previous one. Then the straight line will be perpendicular on that chord. Understood the converse meaning? Earlier on in theorem number 32, what they said? They told you a perpendicular on the chord proves that a perpendicular on the chord bisects the chord. Means this perpendicular is dividing the chord into two equal halves. Now they have told you same thing in a turned way. They have told you this is a straight line which is bisecting the chord. Then prove that this line is perpendicular on that chord. Just the opposite. Just the converse we say. In mathematical language we say converse of the theorem. Okay. Approach, construction same. Let PQ be the chord. We have to prove that OM is perpendicular to PQ. These all things you have to understand. Slowly and slowly, after 5-6 theorems, you will understand. Okay. This is very simple, sir. We don't need you, sir. It's okay. We can do it on your own. I'll be very happy. Construction. What is the construction again? OP and OQ are joined. This is given. This is you have to prove. Construction, OP and OQ are joined. Now, again same thing. Congruency, very important property of a triangle. O, M, P, Q. This is also M. मैंने क्या किया? उस triangle को tear कर दिया बीच में. Clear? Now, we will do congruency. What is equal? Tell me. Same. This OM, like I told, Gina is a friend of Lisa. Gina is a friend of Eriko. So Gina is common. Same. OM is common in this triangle. 1 point. Number 2 point. Same thing, beta. What is this? Radius? What is this? Radius of the same circle? So OP and OQ. OP is equal to OQ. Why? Both are radius of the same circle. This is also equal. This is also. See, now if I had drawn that chord like this, then the diagram will be like this. So it's any straight line. It's not that कि सिर्फ सर ने ड्राइंग किया है इस स्ट्रेट लाइन पे तो यही थ्योरम होगा. नो, any straight line passing through the center on the chord if it bisects. If that straight line bisects the chord, then that is perpendicular. See, I tell you every time, spend time on the question. Spend time on the question, then only you will understand. सिर्फ आंसर देख लिया, वो बुक में ऐसा कराया, you know, you all are memorizing, no. So OP is equal to OQ. 2 points done. Now what is equal? Tell me, is given in the question. PQ be the chord. We have given that the straight line is bisecting the chord. This is given. If a straight line passing through the center bisects any chord, means this straight line has already bisected. Means given is what? PM is equal to MQ. Given. So third point, PM is equal to MQ. So these two triangles are what? Congruent. Theorem finished. I did what? I killed the theorem. So this is equal to this. How? Sir, this is equal to this. Radius. This side is common, sir. And this side is equal to this side. Given in the theorem, sir. That means, now, be very careful while writing. How I am writing congruency. See, O, M, P is congruent to O, M, Q. Why? Sir, we can write M, O, Q. Sorry. No. No, you cannot write M, O, Q like this. We have to see the pattern. I am going like this. O, M, P. So O, M, Q. I cannot write Q, O, M. See the middle angle. M is equal to M. Getting my point? So we write it this way. You will say, sir, theorem complete. No, wait. We have just come to one point. What point we have come? A major point. What? That these two triangles are congruent. Now, so finally we have reached a point where we have proved that. Now forget circle, chord. You know, see, there is a phase. First phase, understand the figure. Second phase, think what we have to do. Now the third phase. Third phase में वो क्या मिल गया हमें? We got that triangle PMO. We can write this way also. But if you start this way, then here also you have to go this way. Okay. So let me write it the previous way. We can write OMP is congruent to OMQ. OM, MP, MQ, OP, OQ. Okay. Now these two triangles are congruent. Congruent means what? Sir, congruence means equal triangles. Means all the angles are equal? No, all the corresponding angles are equal. I told you, corresponding angles means, now if these two triangles are equal, that means what? This angle and this angle are equal. I proved, no, these two triangles are congruent. That means corresponding angles are equal. What are the corresponding angles here? Why I will find here, beta? Why I will find here? We have to deal with here, no? So why to go in Shiv Mandir, Matigara? We have to go to Siliguri only. So let's go to Siliguri. So here is our Siliguri now. Now see this part. Now see how I am deriving it. So as the triangles are congruent, I can write like this. Angle OMP is equal to angle OMQ. What? Corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Corresponding angles are equal of congruent angles. Now, what is this? This is a straight line. See, basic concepts have to be cleared. What is the angle in a straight line? What is the angle in a straight line? 180 degree. A straight line has how much? 180 degree. Now I try to involve algebra, but let's go to geometry only. Now this is equal to this. Okay, keep this in mind. Now if I write angle OMP plus angle OMQ is what? 180 degree. Why? It's a straight line. Angle in a straight line is how much? 180. Now this is equal to this. These both are equal. Acha, let's take x. Let this be x. So what will be this? X plus x is equal to what? 180 degree. So 2x is equal to how much? 180 degree. So x is equal to how much? 90 degree. That means angle OMP and angle OMQ both are what? 90 degree. That means this straight line is making an angle of 90 degree with the chord, and any line making a 90 degree with another line is what? It's a perpendicular. That means we have proved that OM is perpendicular to PQ. I hope I have been able to make you understand both the theorems. Now I recap. See, theorem 32, they said what? Theorem number 32 said a straight line is perpendicular to a chord. You have to prove it that it bisects a chord. And theorem number 33 said a straight line bisects a chord. You have to prove it, it's perpendicular. Understood? Okay. So I complete this lecture now. In the next lecture we will do sums based on these two theorems only. Okay. Thank you for watching and recap and see. Okay. Thank you, students.